The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
So, I have a question for you. As the world climbs back from the abyss, while at the same time plummeting back into it, and when films and books and stories finally come out that have been postponed, and we start getting ready to make new art and new media, do you want that new media to reflect the pandemic? How much of it do you want it to be? Do you want to have, does Batman always wear a mask? Does Jason have to fucking have a hard time killing kids because of social distancing at Camp Crystal Lake? How much do you want the new media to reflect this pandemic? Or do we just have everything set up until 2019 and we think about the good times? I don't have the answers, and I don't know if anyone does, but I was thinking about that in the bath today. I don't know. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 415 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also, the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau. Also, Casa de Zero and the Lair of the Gods. We are streaming from 4 locations in this time of COVID-19, as Raven Chateau mentioned in the introduction. And we discuss at least one film a week. We argue, we make fun of each other, and we're probably going to offend someone. Probably one of ourselves or one of you. I don't know. It's bound to happen, right? Is that a safe? Is that a safe bet?
Well, yeah, sure it is. I mean, I feel that we did a poor show if we didn't. Raven Shadow.
The fuck's that mean?
What is that all about?
Yeah. Don't get on my ass, Aries. Do something about them.
Wow.
I'm with them. What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about, dude?
You fucking traitor.
Traitor.
You know what?
Did I miss a meeting?
To go with what Raven Shadow said in the opening, I wouldn't want anything to have. I wouldn't want any kind of media to reflect on what's going on in the world today. I'm just so sick and tired of it all. The real thing is enough for me. I don't need the fake shit to come out and remind me of what we dealt with. I don't need that shit. Don't need it.
But I think it's a fair question, though. I mean, like, you gotta. It depends how long it goes, and spoiler alert, it's not going to end anytime soon. So there's going to be a point when you can't ignore this. Just like we've seen it before with in horror film or a lot of genres, but will set their art before cell phones or certain technology because it would ruin the punchline. I mean, you can't deny that this COVID thing ain't a fucking one-hit wonder. You know what I mean? But then I think too, I haven't been in a comic shop since March. Now I would think that the world of the DC and Marvel universe would have a better handle on the pandemic. I would think that a world that had, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, fucking some intergalactic fucking people.
Intergalactic
you might
people.
Get intergalactic people.
Yep. Okay.
What?
I got it.
They're from space, Johnny.
The two you named are from Earth.
Right, and intergalactic. I'm on the basis, you Thanos. You think Thanos could fucking cure that? What?
I don't think so, man. I don't think. Look, we're inundated with this shit from morning sign on till evening sign off, and while there's a lot of ideas that are out there right now that's being put on hold. for the shit show that we're going through right now. I think the last thing people want to do is try and create some quote unquote entertainment about this. I mean, I think we get enough from the news. We get enough from our dipshit quote unquote president. Once this is all done, I don't want to see any of this stuff hit the media. Now, of course, like movies, TV shows, and of course that's just not going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of people that's going to cash in on stuff like this. But I'm just fucking fed up with it, man. I'm done with it.
You may be
I don't.
Yeah, go ahead, Aries. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think he's talking about having a horror movie based on a pandemic. I think he's talking about, having a sitcom where someone rings the door. When you answer it, the person has a mask on.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Well, we already have a zombie film. What is it called? Coronavirus Zombies or something like that?
Corona Zombies. Yeah. It was already in production, and I think they changed the name. But I mean, if you, by the way, that was a nice diatribe, Tom Brokaw. Thanks for that. But it did sound like you were doing the nightly news for a second there at the beginning. That's what made me think of that.
Yeah.
But it's the new normal now. I mean, and who knows how long this is going to be around? As our way of life changes, so does the media around it. So, and I have a feeling that it will seep into things. I mean, yes, for a while, I think people want that escapism of getting away from it. But once it's more normalized, or once we're past it, I think that it will be referenced and it will be something that is in the public consciousness. Yes, like MZ, I'm sure a lot of people are fucking sick of seeing it, anything about it. But and it is difficult to avoid. Even if you try to avoid it, it can be difficult to avoid. But I think there is also, on the other hand, something good about being informed and staying abreast of what's going on, and being knowledgeable, especially in this time. There's so many fucking people that I do not see wearing masks or do not give a fuck. And, I think those people are kind of like blissfully ignorant. They just don't give a fuck.
Well, what I love is what I see in the news nowadays, or online anyway, is these people who go in without a mask, say like Costco, Walmart, the supermarket, whatever, and they're not wearing a mask. People are filming this on their phones, and they upload them, and these offenders just start talking a lot of shit, then start getting into racist bullshit. Next thing you know, boom, these people are losing their fucking jobs, and I love it. I love seeing that shit. I love it.
I mean, there's always going to be fucking idiots, and this is no different. And it's honestly, it's selfishness. These people just care about how the world revolves around them and how it affects them. They could give two shits about you, about me, about Raven Shadow, about Ares, about Ollie, about anyone. They could give two shits. They don't care. It just matters how the world affects them. That is all they care about. If you're making them wear a mask, they're going to revolt, and they're going to be fucking pissed, and they're not going to do it, and they're going to be little fucking crybabies.
Yep, and Trump taught them well.
Yep. Hey, we
gotta give him that.
Let me real quick just break in and say we got Slagoth hanging out. Haven't seen Slagoth in a while.
Oh, he's home alone.
Dude.
He's home alone.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like
Macaulay Culkin?
Like Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
Is he gonna have Joe Pesci show up at his house?
That'd be fucking awesome. I'll fucking go to Florida. Actually, I'm not going to Florida. I'm sorry, Slagoth. You should come here.
Yeah, Slagoff. Get the hell out of Florida. Come here with us.
Quarantine up here for 4 days, dog. Come on. We'll make stews.
Stews?
Stews.
What kind of stews are you gonna make?
Beef.
Okay, Jack Tripper. What else are you gonna make?
That's really insensitive to me, Raven Shadow.
Sorry, we get
and to Ollie. You think Ollie's gonna be cool with that?
We'll make green bean stew. Okay.
Green bean stew. I've never heard of that, but sure. Green bean casserole is good. Maybe the green bean stew would be fine.
Yeah, I enjoy green beans.
That's we also got Rocky hanging out. Rocky says that's why I don't go out without a diaper on my head. Hey,
Okay.
you got to do whatever you got to do, man.
Well, originally it's because your face looks like an ass. But
Wow.
you just take what you can get.
Okay.
He can't defend himself.
I think he can. I think he will leave Canada.
Yeah, he might. And then Slagoth says, "Love you guys."
Back at you.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
No, but I'm sure you guys saw. I'm sure you guys saw that about Ennio Morricone's death. I meant to bring it up last. That sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what? He was 91 or 93 years old. The guy finally won an Oscar.
Yep.
Yeah, he finally got himself an Oscar after working on over 500 projects, and he finally nabbed his first Oscar. And for what that's worth, anyway. But at least it, legitimizes him to a certain extent. Which, he was legitimized long before then, anyway. But his work just was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the great composers of all time, and it was a shame that it took so long. The fuck, is someone yelling? You getting yelled at again, MZ?
Are you in trouble?
No, I'm not getting yelled at.
Okay.
She's from New York. She's from New York. She's tradition. She's loud all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, keep it down. Be like, now you be.
Yeah. You yell at her.
Hey, I'm podcasting here.
Hey, forget about you. Shut up your face. Do like Tommy Rich. Pretend like you're in the FBI. We're talking about the full-blooded Italians, not the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah. I mean, John Williams, Pino Donaggio.
I love his wine too.
Ooh,
right? Oh, look at you drinking wine.
I don't drink wine.
I mean, no, of course not. You're too straight-laced for that shit.
That's right.
The Thing and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. As a matter of fact, I watched The Good and the Bad and the Ugly yesterday.
I still haven't seen it.
No?
No.
Oh, dude, you're missing out. It's on Netflix. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours long, but it's so fucking good.
Everyone's usually pissed when they find out I haven't seen that. That and The Sandlot apparently are the ones that when people find out get pissed at me.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
All
right, here we go.
Wait a minute.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. You're killing me, Wolfie. You've never seen The Sandlot?
Nope.
Johnny.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I've seen it.
The Sandlot is like one of the all-time greatest baseball movies ever made. It is fantastic.
What about you, Raven Shadow? What were you saying?
I've never seen The Sandlot either.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Well, big surprise. You're not even a baseball fan. I don't know what you're a fan of.
I can't use that word anymore, but Donnie, I'm a huge baseball fan, but I think we were too old when that came out.
What do you mean you were too old when that came out? What does that even mean?
Yeah, when did it come out? Let me see.
I think 93.
93 or 92, somewhere around
it was
there.
93. I was 17.
Yeah.
So what's your point?
I don't know. When did you see it, MZ?
I saw it, 94 maybe?
Yeah.
When it transferred over to
So
cable.
you were 52. Okay.
Yeah. Start opening night.
Yeah, opening night.
I got the commemorative cup.
He drove his white van to the screening.
Yeah. I bought lots of candy.
You related to Dennis Leary's character in it. I understand that.
No, but I mean, being a big baseball fan that you are, Wolfie, I am shocked you have not seen this movie. It is awesome.
Well,
It is so
I'm
good.
gonna check it out. I've actually been trying to. Goro was giving me shit about it recently too, but I'm gonna
Well, you should.
I'm gonna check it out soon. I know it's on Disney Plus, so I obviously have that.
Stay away from the sequels. Stay away from the sequels, though. The sequels aren't that great. But the first Sandlot is so good. Oh my god, it's my second favorite baseball movie.
What's your first?
Angels in the
Jesus,
Outfield.
I forgot
If you don't
No.
say The Natural, you're out. You're off the show.
The Natural is up there, but it's not my number one.
Major League. Come
Major
on.
League.
No. Jesus, I can't remember the name
You
of
get
it
it
now.
was
I
so
know it all
good. It's so good.
No, I love it. I love this movie, but I can't remember the name. I'm stuck.
Was it the one with the kid who played for the Twins?
No. Jesus.
Angels in the Outfield.
Bad News Bears.
Little Big League? No.
What the fuck is it?
Oh, fuck.
Mr. Baseball with Magnum
No.
P.I.
The Rookie?
No, with the one with Tom Hanks and
League of Their Own.
League of Their Own.
League of Their Own. Yes, that's it. Jesus, brain fart. Yes, that's my favorite baseball movie. That's my favorite baseball movie. I love that movie. Have you seen that one, Wolfie?
Of course. Yeah.
Good. Oh, of course you've seen that, but you haven't seen The Sandlot.
No.
Jerk.
Corny's giving me shit too. He said, Wolfie, I was watching it at 17.
Yeah,
MC, of
see?
all the people to give people shit about not seeing popular movies, you?
Yeah. Why? What do you got?
What do I got? You're like, if it was in the cinema, I never saw it. I don't fucking see those movies.
That's Star Wars. I won't go with those fucking nerds.
I won't go see a Star Wars movie. No, I won't. I won't do it. I won't do it. I absolutely will not do it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
So you give me shit for not watching The Sandlot, huh?
Yeah. Well, The Sandlot's been out for what?
Almost
27
Yeah,
years.
almost 30 years.
Yeah. You have no excuse not to see this movie.
So let me just catch up on the chat room real quick. Evil Corny says, I'm showing up at Slegot's house with a pumpkin bomb and a how do you do. No Pants Mask Guy says, you're killing me, Wolfie. I think that is our pal Anthony. Would be my guess. And Corny says, I heard that Ennio knew Sergio Leone since they were 8 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
And let's see. Evil Corny says, Field of Dreams is my favorite. No Negro League players, though, unfortunately. So, yeah. What about For the Love of the Game? Sam Raimi?
Yeah. I love Sam Raimi, but man, I am so sick of Kevin Costner. At least back then I was. I still am now, but I just found him to be completely overrated. Bull Durham is good.
Bull Durham is good. Yeah, I do like that one.
8 Men Out.
8 Men Out.
8 Men Out is good. 8 Men Out is very good.
Crazy ass Tommy Lee Jones pissed off everybody.
You know, another baseball movie I haven't seen yet that I've been wanting to was 42, the Jackie Robinson movie. I know that's only
that's a very good one.
I know it's only about a year or two old,
okay.
but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Is that with Black Panther?
Yes.
Is he in that? I want to see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Marion's backing me up. Never seen Sandlot either.
Yeah.
So there you go.
God damn it.
No, it's like there's certain things that and I would watch it, I guess, but I think it's fine if you watched it then, but I think I'm gonna take some of the heat for Johnny too. But I think we were like, listen to metal and hanging out with chicks and banging and that kind of stuff, and didn't have time for no Sandlot.
And Rocky says Field of Creams on Pornhub is his favorite.
Field of Dreams is okay.
No, Field of You completely missed the boat on that one. He said Field of Creams.
No, I heard Field. No, I heard Field of Creams. I'm ignoring it. Bad News Bears is great. The remake is actually quite good too.
Bite your tongue.
And
it's actually quite good.
No, I've seen it, and no, I'll disagree.
I'm also not going to just avoid comments that call me out, but Rocky says I watch Fistful of Dollars and a Few Dollars More, and Johnny is an uncultured ass rat. He's been giving me shit for not seeing The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for a while. So I think that's what he's doing. And Slegoff says, "Home Alone, don't come to Florida. It's all fucked up." And he says it's time to unfuck that shit and watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Oh, Slegoff has never seen The Sandlot either.
See?
Oh, fuck me sideways.
I guess
What
the big
is
thing
wrong with you?
why people give me so much shit is because I am such a huge baseball fan, and people flip out that I haven't seen it. So
Yeah. Well,
I'll watch it.
It stands to reason. It stands to reason. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's got Darth Vader. He's in it. It's got Dennis Leary. He's in it.
It's got David Prowse.
Not David Prowse. No, just his voice is in it.
Oh, all right. Well, say that. All right.
Oh, hey, Christian's
David Prowse's voice is in it.
I don't like sand.
James Earl Jones, Edwards James Olmos is in it.
Yep. Yeah.
And you want to play baseball?
Corey says Sandlot came out same year as Wu-Tang's first LP, both essential to life. Well, I agree with half of that, but I'll check out Sandlot and maybe I'll agree with all of it. Did you just do a... Oh, shit. Oh, man. All right, so tonight, on tonight's show, we should probably do this. We're going to be talking about a South Korean possession film entitled Metamorphosis. So we'll be checking that out, talking about that. It's streaming exclusively on Shudder. So if you are watching live and you haven't watched yet, well, you're shut out of luck because there's probably not enough time. Although for South Korean films, as far as they go, it's a little on the shorter side for a South Korean film. It's just under 2 hours. So we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. And if you have not sent in a voice message and you would like to, there is still time. You could send a voice message, email to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and leave your thoughts on the film Metamorphosis. Leave your favorite baseball movie. If you have any thoughts about previous episodes, anything like that, feel free to give us a call, give us a message, and let us know what's on your mind. Also, I want to mention we recorded our 12th Patreon exclusive episode this past weekend, and it is now available on Patreon. So if you guys are Patreon supporters, it's up there. It's available. We have both the audio and the video. So if you're, depending on which tier you're in, you can choose which one. And if you want to get in on that, the exclusive audio starts at $5 a month. So if you dig what we're doing, you want to help support the show, $5 a month will get you that extra content. And on this one, it was kind of interesting. We didn't get nearly as deep as I expected that we would, but we did sort of I guess in a sense, a sort of like it was like one of those episodes where you get trapped in the freezer. We were reminiscing and talking about the good old days of Trick or Treat Radio. But yeah, we talk since we're coming up on our 8-year anniversary at the end of this month. We decided to kind of dive into some stories throughout the history of Trick or Treat Radio, and also just sort of like everyone's impression of kind of where we started versus where we are, and some of the changes that we've kind of gone through over the years. So it's been a near 8-year journey, and so we're able to kind of dive into some of that stuff. So if you guys want to hear that, it is only available on Patreon. And MZ's story that he decided to share was ridiculous.
What?
It's worth the price. It's worth the price of admission just for that.
Yeah,
For
culminating
Christ's sake.
Like,
What did I say that was so controversial?
It wasn't controversial.
What did I say?
It was fucking weird.
Check out the Patreon and let us know what you think.
Oh, God damn.
You know what?
Bastards.
And I also tell a story that I can't remember if I've told before on the show about the very first episode of Trick or Treat Radio. There's I don't know if I call it a fun little fact, but there's a little fact in there that many people maybe don't know about it. So you're only going to find out if you check that out.
I wasn't aware of it until you said it. I had no idea. kind of blew me away. I was pretty shocked. I was like, shit, really? It's weird. It's very uncharacteristic of Wolfie. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Very, very uncharacteristic.
Corny said, yeah, that was funny. I think he's talking about your story.
Oh.
Slegos says there's only one baseball movie, and it's called The Bad News Bears.
The original's great.
With Kelly Leak.
Yeah. Kelly Leak.
Raven Chow, did you...
Well, the sequel's good, too.
Yeah, the sequel is
I
good.
enjoyed the sequel, too.
Raven Chow, did you learn about life from Kelly Leak in The Bad News Bears?
Oh, forget about it. Yeah, it taught me so many things. I liked a lot of those. I love Bad News Bears. I liked. I was a big mark for Six Pack with the Kenny. I almost said Kenny Loggins. The Kenny Rogers when he had like a ragtag band. He was a racing NASCAR driver and he had like kids.
Yeah.
Remember those pictures back in the day?
Six pack.
Yeah.
With Terry Kaiser.
Soze. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a very young Jackie Earl Haley as Kelly Leak. I fucking loved Kelly Leak in that movie.
He was dope, man.
But who also looked like he was already balding at like 13.
No, he's handsome. He was handsome.
The way his hair was combed, it looked like he was like really trying to cover that bald spot up at 13.
It was the 70s, and then he later on was in a picture breaking away with the young Dennis Quaid and
and Daniel Stern
Yeah. The Italian bike riders. And Taggart was in it as the older brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he did all the right moves with Tom Cruise.
Jackie Earl Haley?
And he was like already trying to cover up his bald spot by wearing a hat the entire movie.
Don't bust his balls. He doesn't have a bald spot.
Yeah, don't bust his balls.
Yeah.
No. Hey, look, I dig the Haley man. He's awesome.
The Haley man.
Good actor.
Haley's
He's
comic.
a good actor. Damn good actor. I like him. I like him a lot.
Is Rorschach?
Yeah.
His most disturbing movie though was when he played like a I forget the name of the movie. I think it's I want to say it's Children of Men, but I know that's not right.
Little children.
Little children, I think, or something like that.
Little children, something like that. Yeah, where he plays a reformed pedophile, and the way he plays him is really creepy. I mean, it steps over the boundaries just a little bit.
Yeah, that was the movie. Yeah, it was Little Children.
Okay, yeah. There's this one scene that he does. Oh my god! It doesn't involve any kids. It's just how he's trying to rehabilitate himself into society. Like there's this one scene where his mother sets him up on a date to try and get him back into normal society, and the date's not going very well. It's kind of glossed over a little bit, but the main scene was where his date is driving the car. He's in the passenger seat, and they're driving on his way home, and he asks to stop the car. Well, he stops the car right in front of like this kindergarten school. It's night, so there's no kids. But he stops the car, and he just stopped the car, and next thing you know, he's looking at the playground. Then he starts jerking off right in front of her.
Oh boy!
And it's fucking rough, man. And then he's like fucking finished, and she's horrified. Drives him home as fast as she fucking could, and speeds away. It's creepy as hell, but a good movie. It also has Kate Winslet's in it as well.
Yep.
Check it out. It's really good, but man, is he disturbing in that movie. Jesus.
Corny says Little Children is an excellent film. Todd Fields needs to make more films.
If that's his only movie, then hey, I mean, I don't know much about the director, but god damn that character that he plays in that movie is just brutal.
Maybe a comedy would be a nice change of pace. Something slapsticky. You know?
So, have you guys seen the new Unsolved Mysteries yet on Netflix?
No, I'm excited, but the $1 million question is, how's the theme song?
I watched it.
Did you watch the whole thing or just a couple episodes?
I watched all the episodes. Look how much time I got. What do you think?
True. What'd you think?
Well, it was good. It was good. I still prefer In Search Of a little bit more because it's not.
I know.
No, I'll explain. I'll explain why. It has nothing to do with the music. It has to do more with Unsolved Mysteries deals more with a personal tragedy and a personal mystery that needs to be figured out, as opposed to In Search Of, where it deals with more of a grand scope of things. You like aliens and missing persons and lost cities and strange phenomena, ghosts, things like that.
So spooky. Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! This is guys. I can't continue. This is freaking me out, man. This music.
Yeah, like.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'm not gonna take any lip from somebody who never watched The Sandlot, right?
You give me more shit for The Sandlot than Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, that's a commitment movie because that's like 3 hours long. So you got to have a certain amount of commitment involved. And it's a pretty deep movie. Sandlot is just a baseball movie with a bunch of kids, and it's an hour and a half long. I mean, how hard can that be? But yes, I did watch Unsolved Mysteries, and a lot of it was good. They did do one grand scope area of phenomena with UFOs, and which took place in the final state of Massachusetts, which I've come to find out. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
But the first one took place in Baltimore.
Yeah,
and I've actually been because I watched the first 2 episodes. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But in the first one, they actually show a parking lot that I've been in, like where they found his car. Like I actually parked in that lot. I was like, I got chills when I
really.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Wow, I'm surprised you're still here.
Why? Where would I be?
Now, who the hell knows? Through the roof or something. Who the hell knows? Now, did you find that it was losing anything without the Robert Stack narration or any kind of narration, since it was no narration?
Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't know how they were going to go about it. And obviously there's a quick little cameo, I guess, if you want to call it that. They show Robert Stack as they're flashing the Unsolved Mysteries logo kind of like in the background. So I thought that was cool that they had like a little bit of an homage. But I don't know. I mean, I guess my thought is that they probably couldn't find anyone as iconic. So they probably figured, you know what, let's just skip a host and just go right into it,
Oh, there's no host?
No host.
No.
So how do they do it?
They just present it like a documentary, basically. Oh. Is that disappointing?
Well, yeah, it's just some dude just talks like, "Hey, this is a weird day."
No. They interview. They just interview people. They interview the, people who were affected, police, investigators, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's more of a documentary type of setup.
Get like Ricardo Montalban or something.
But see, all in the end, all it is just a series of cold cases.
Yeah.
In the end, that's all it really is. Unlike In Search Of, which has the awesome Leonard Nimoy, and I'll take Leonard Nimoy over Robert Stack any given day.
Well, it's,
both of which were in Transformers the movie, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. Leonard Nimoy's better.
I've actually never
And he
seen.
doesn't.
I've actually never seen In Search of MZ, and I am curious because I do. I know I give you guff about the music, but I do like the unexplained and stuff like that. So I think I'd really dig the show, and I do like Leonard Nimoy. So
Well, it's also the time that when that came out too. You know, the late '70s, where everything just felt so really bizarre, really, really weird. The film stock use the Leonard Nimoy's voice, the way that voice was recorded and played, and that narration played over the scenes in Search of, it's bone chilling to me. It's creepy as hell. Oh, and you would get cutaway scenes to Leonard Nimoy doing narration in front of the camera, and there was one, and I remember seeing it with your brother, Wolfie.
Yep.
Where I forget what the subject was, but Leonard Nimoy is doing narration. Picture this: he's wearing like short shorts, a muscle tee. He's got a mustache, and he's working out at the gym.
Okay.
Now see, and all you get out of Robert Stack is a dimly lit room with a bunch of computers behind him while he's wearing a jacket from Columbo. So you tell me which is better.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Fuck you. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'll
Actually-
take Leonard Nimoy with a mustache in the gym any day.
Was this Clue?
Yeah, and fucking.
Because you know what? Unsolved Mysteries didn't need to resort to flashing to their celebrity host every 5 minutes to get ratings.
They didn't do it every 5 minutes.
Wasn't there a show?
Do it every 5 minutes.
Did Dennis Farina do a remake?
Yes.
And what was the one that Riker did? Ares, didn't Riker do something?
That was Fact or Fiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alien Abduction, Fact or Fiction.
No, that
No,
was a special. There was a show called Fact or Fiction.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Alien Abduction. I think that might have been a pilot. I don't know. But I remember Jonathan Frakes, he hosted that, and about the alien autopsy. About the alien autopsy, and they're reviewing the footage of this supposed alien autopsy, and I remember they had Stan Winston and a couple of his students there, and they were watching the footage, and Stan Winston saying, "This is incredible stuff. If this is fake, man, these guys would have a job on my crew in no time." And I always wondered, because it did turn out to be fake, whether or not he held up that bargain, or if these guys did get any kind of a effects gig,
It's funny. We start talking about In Search of, and Mars popped in the chat room.
There you go. Good. See, he knows.
All right, so we should probably wind things down here. We've got a movie to talk about. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about that you saw, you watched, something exciting, something depressing? I don't know. Anything else? Rave Shadow, got anything?
Yeah.
What?
Oh no! I mean, I'm
Did you say yeah?
Yeah.
yeah.
We're waiting.
Okay,
Far be it for him to miss the opportunity to speak.
I know.
I'm fucking trying. I'm trying to be all present and listen and maybe not talk. But I'm glad you asked, Johnny. Yeah, I'm in two different ends of the spectrum on DC television. So I'm about 3 to 4 episodes into the Watchmen program.
The Watchmen. Yep.
Yeah, on the HBO.
Yep.
I like it. I don't know what the fuck it has to do with the Watchmen, but I'm actually really, really into it. And who would have thought that the girl from 227 will be an ass-kicking vigilante? I didn't see
The
that
girl
coming.
from 227. What's that?
Jackie?
Not Jack K, but Marla Gibbs' daughter is like the night.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She like it's cool. I'm digging it a lot. And juxtapose that with, I keep talking about it, but yo, DC Stargirl on the CW, it's fucking outrageous. Last week I watched, you had fucking Owlman, fucking Wildcat, Dr. Midnight, Stargirl versus the fucking Gambler, Sportmaster, and fucking Tigress. Unfucking believable. This is a show.
Wildcat football.
Why
That
why didn't they
Wildcat.
just do a JSA show?
I mean, they didn't call me when they were pitching it. Jeff Johns wasn't like Raven Shadow. This is what we're thinking. I'd be like, dog.
Raven Shadow. So, we're thinking about doing this thing. What do you think? What should we do here?
It's your boy, Jeff Johns.
It's your boy.
Maybe he called. I don't check my voicemails a lot. But no, it's super fun. It's a hoot. It's a hoot, man.
hoot?
It's thugs. Yeah,
Hootman.
so much fun. And I think, though, it was supposed to be on the DC Universe streaming site. But somehow it got bumped back to the CW, which I believe they're doing that with Swamp Thing as well. I'm not sure if DC... It's not DC Direct, but it's DC... Is it DC Universe? Is that what it's called?
I think
DC's
so. Yeah, I subscribe to it, but I forget. They're putting stuff on HBO.
Max, right?
Yeah, HBO Max now. So not everything though, but they're putting some of the DC stuff on there.
So Warner Brothers owns HBO, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's my favorite CW show amongst this new current crop. And it's fun. It's fun, dude.
All right.
The kid heroes are kid heroes. They're not like fucking, 35 playing a high school kid. They're actually kids. Nice.
So keep Jackie Earl Haley away.
Lower it down. Fucking, they have the fiddler. It's fucking absurd.
He also, to be fair, he also played fucking Freddy Krueger, like a rapey Freddy Krueger too.
Freddy Krueger. He also was the Meat Man. He was Odin Quincan.
Oh yeah, holy shit! I almost forgot about that.
The preacher, yeah.
He's a creep, man.
He's my friend on Facebook. He's awesome.
Who, Jackie Earl Haley?
Yeah, it's true.
He's not your friend.
He is. I think I got fucked up one night. I was like, I'm gonna add fucking the Rorschach, and he accepted my friend request.
The Rorschach.
It's true. I wish him a happy birthday. I'll show you. I'll screenshot it. I'll have Marion show me how to screenshot something.
Actually, Jackie Earl Haley's a friend of mine on Facebook. The real Jackie Earl Haley, the real guy.
Well, yeah, maybe that's why.
Well, let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see. Mars is friends with him too. A bunch of people I know are from. We got 19 mutual friends. Maybe I should add him.
Seriously, dude.
I think he's at 5,000 already.
Is he at the max? Maybe he'll get rid of Rave Shadow to be friends with me. Can't wish him a happy birthday anymore. All right, I'm gonna add him. We'll keep tracking this saga. I'm gonna add Jackie Earl Haley.
That's nice.
We'll see what happens.
Oh man.
Maybe he'll turn me down, Raven Shadow. Maybe he's like, no, I can't get rid of Raven Shadow. I gotta keep him.
No, he's my boy, dog.
He's your boy, dog?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm telling you that he's my friend, and I'm telling that to you, my friend.
You call your friends boy dogs?
No, he's my boy, but you're my dog, dude.
Comma, he's my boy, comma, dog.
Listen, that's not a fucking new term, dude. That term came around when I was fucking failing midterms the first time.
I know, but you don't use it. You just started using it.
I've been saying it for fucking years.
Not on the show, at
Aries
least.
is face palm.
Yeah.
Aries, has he been saying it for years?
Aries is face palm.
I'm about to walk away. I can't anymore.
He doesn't even listen, John.
You really legitimately have not said it on the show like until recently. Maybe once in a great while.
Dude, last fucking 3 years. Play back the tape.
All right.
Corny.
Let's go back and play all three years of episodes all in a row.
I'll wait.
You know, I think I finally figured out why Aries has gone bald and gray at such a young age.
What the fuck is that about, dude?
Well, I guess I got to thank you for calling me young.
Well, he's going to work tomorrow. What the fuck, dog? What the fuck? You're going to bust his balls.
Dog, there it is again. It sounds so weird. I feel like we're back in
You know what?
1989.
Johnny, because you brought that up, now he's going to overuse it.
I just feel like we're back in 1989, dog.
That's rad. That's fucking rad pit, all right?
Is it DAWG?
No, I don't like that. I don't like things spelled wrong.
D-O-double-G?
You don't like things spelled wrong?
No. It reminds me of my tests.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, shit. T-Dog just sent me a text because she's literally in the next room and says, only room enough around these parts for one dog, and that's T-Dog.
Oh. I'm late.
So there you go, Raven Shadow.
That's check and mate, so zip it.
Now,
Zip it.
now with T-Dog, is that D-O-double-G or D-A-W-G?
D-O-G.
Because she can only D-O-G.
Oh, it could be T. I guess maybe it's D-A-W-G. I don't know. I just say it. I don't spell it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We're going to wrap this up a few minutes ago. Raven Shadow call everyone a fucking dog.
Yeah, oh, it's fucking cool cats and kittens too, man. It's all the fucking terms, man. You know, the birds.
Are you going to call someone a bird? Let's hear you use that. Say
Boy,
something.
is that-
Good. Is he
No,
your
I
boy?
mean,
Yeah, if I was a bird, what would I be?
Yeah, what kind of bird would he be?
Cock. A rooster.
Thank you.
You kind of lobbed that softball right in there.
Say big cock. Say big cock.
Jesus Christ.
Raven Shadow.
Don't
Raven
say
Shadow.
that ever again.
Raven Shadow.
What?
Raven Shadow. Say big cock.
No, don't say that.
I want big cock to come out of Raven Shadow's mouth. Come on.
Jesus
Say it.
Christ.
Are you looking to sample that? What
Yeah,
the fuck?
what the hell? These guys DSLs over
Come
here
on.
showing up. Those,
Blank
Come
a
on,
doodle do.
Raven.
Blank a doodle
Come
do.
oh my God, you're being
Big cock.
you're being aggressive about this. Jesus,
Yeah.
it's creepy as fuck.
Don't be all fucking
give it-
Jackie.
You're big
You give Jackie Earl Haley a run for his money.
Yeah, I'll fucking let
Raven
him.
Shadow. Just say big cock.
Jesus
Raven
Christ,
Shadow.
don't.
Just say big cock.
MZ, stop.
I want to see big cock come out of his mouth. No.
Whoa,
Oh,
this
Jesus
is
Christ.
a family show here. What the fuck?
All right, well, I talked about maybe offending people. There you go. he got it. In the
It's
first,
like,
if you had offensive comments in the first hour of Trick or Treat Radio, you won Trick or Treat Radio bingo.
every few months he gets really fucking.
He gets
Jackie
he gets
to me.
yeah, he gets
Yeah.
adamant too. Do you
Yeah.
harbor some sexual attraction to Michael Raven Shadow, MZ?
That's
No.
fine. Come over.
It's fine if you do.
No.
Did you pop a Cialis before the show or something?
Raven Shadow, what's that look? What are you doing?
Why do you think I'm drinking so much water?
Raven Shadow, is that your Shawn Michaels Playgirl centerfold pose?
It is.
Oh my God, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, I got.
Where's your title belt?
I still got that picture.
Oh man, Evil Corny says Raven Shadow's trying to wedge catchphrases and accessories during the COVID events. He'll probably start wearing a fedora in public too. Oh my God! Wow. All right, so let's wrap up this segment, and we need to head to break in a few minutes. So, if you guys, once again, I mentioned Patreon earlier. If you want to help support the show, head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And we have 12 exclusive episodes available for you to check out and listen to. And as I mentioned, the most recent one has some stories about Trick or Treat Radio's past over the last 8 years, MZ's is a doozy, so you got to check that one out. And a story that I don't think has ever been told on the air about the first episode. So there's some goodies in there if you guys want them. If you're not already a Patreon supporter, consider go ahead and giving some money to Patreon because actually we get less money now because now I think the government made Patreon take taxes out. So I saw the money I was like, oh, it's even less this time now. So if you guys want to help support the show, it goes towards paying for the web hosting, the podcast hosting, for all the software that we need to do the live show on a weekly basis, and all any equipment that we need, anything like that. So we definitely do not get paid to do this. We pay to do the podcast. So any help you guys can provide would be appreciated. And the 8-year anniversary is coming up at the end of July. If you guys have any voice messages, any thoughts for the episode, feel free to send them our way, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. It's going to be the last episode of July, which in this case will be July 30th. So Thursday, July 30th will be the 8-year anniversary show. And if you guys do want to send in a voice message, just go ahead and let me know in the subject what that is for the 8-year anniversary show, just so I make sure I hold on to it for them. So we also have another way you can help support the show is head on over to trickortreatradio.com. When you're there, you're going to scroll down, you're going to see an Amazon link. You click it, it brings you to Amazon. It inputs our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Ravenchadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
I want to hear another way to keep the lights on. Come out of your mouth, Ravenchadow. Come on.
It's another way to help keep the lights on. Oh, I love the lights.
Jesus Christ, it's so creepy.
Keep the lights on.
Also, if you head to trickortreatradio.com, click on the store, you'll find the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio. If you guys want to check those out, get a nice little sort of curated set of clips from the show's history. It's a good way to check it out and get some funny bits, some interesting bits. So give that a look. And that is it. Help support the show. Keep us going. All right, Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch a South Korean film called Metamorphosis. What did you do to prepare for this film?
I get excited, Johnny, because before I watched this movie, I checked out this very special episode of Tales from the Podcast. That's right. Not only does your boy Raven Shadow make his triumphant reappearance on the program, but he's joined by Dynamo Mars and the new co-host, John, along with JB. And we do a deep dive about
that's the sorry to interrupt, Raven Shadow, the tag team. You guys are reunited.
It's crazy. It was fucking dogs and cats living together. There was so much commotion.
DAWG or DOG?
Dog, there was cats in the back. You know what I mean?
It's cats and kittens?
Cats and kittens.
The world's dopest tag team back together for one time only.
The world's dopiest tag team was there. That's right. It was very exciting, but no, it was good. It was flowing. There was some smart talk.
Smart?
Smart.
It was good. It was
okay, yeah.
Smart talk. There was some not so smart talk, and there was some good conversations about a dark time in comic history. So if you want to check out about the fucking the Salem witch trials, the fucking motherfuckers are burning books, man, burning funny books, and EC Comics. I think it's near and dear to any, gore fan, horror genre. I mean, I think how can you not love the legacy of EC Comics, right? And what Gaines did. I don't know if that's a possibility. Of course, he died penniless, but hey, HBO got some money. But no, it was a cool conversation and it was fun. So it was nice to be reunited with Mars and talk with JB again. And I'm looking forward to very soon. Going to be completing my triple threat of my 666th appearance on Tales from the Podcast. So stay tuned for that.
Okay. I asked you what you did to prepare for this movie, though.
Got a little sidetracked.
That's all well and good, and I appreciate you mentioning that. But
I figured I would just plug.
Yeah.
So as I was plugging away, I had to fucking have on.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your host, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror.
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
Trick or Treat Radio is the greatest podcast ever invented. The spelling is very bad. I'm not sure who wrote this. And the Deadites, is that a company that procures houses? The Deadites. Oh, it's the Deadites. The Deadites are a fantastic musical act. That is what I was supposed to say. And there you go. There it is. Cheeseburger. Remember to rent The Fly, because that's a good movie for making love to.
Jeff Goldblum, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we can get you on the show again sometime soon.
We're back on Trick or Treat Radio. I thought I was going to be alone, but you got back right in time, Aries.
I was timing it. Yeah.
All right, so we are going to talk about a movie. I'm going to pull up the info here in just a moment. And we're going to be talking about Metamorphosis. So Metamorphosis is currently streaming exclusively on Shudder. And it is an hour and 53 minutes. It is a horror thriller from director Kim Hong-seun. And the film stars Bae Sung-woo, Sung Dong-il, Jang Young-nam, Kim Hee-jun, and Cho Yi-hyun. The synopsis: an evil spirit that changes faces infiltrates one family, placing one brother in danger while the other tries to save him. Nice you to rejoin us, MZ.
Glad to be here.
We're not interviewing you.
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about this movie, even before Raven Shadow gets back. All right, so
one time in 415 episodes, and I'm late just by a few seconds.
yeah,
Well, this time it was more like a minute and a half.
yeah, exactly.
I don't care what you were doing during break.
Yeah, none of us gives a fuck.
Please, if that's what I was doing, I would have been here on time.
Fair enough.
You give him too much credit.
All right, so let's talk about this movie. Let me pull up some notes that I took here. So yes, this film is streaming exclusively on Shudder in the States at the very least. So if you're in the States, it's definitely there. I don't know if it's in other countries if it's playing. But the director, Kim Hong-soon, has directed a few other South Korean films. He did The Chase, The Con Artist, and Traffickers, none of which I've seen. I have heard about The Chase, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
It's with Charlie Sheen and Henry Rollins.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Raven Shadow, we're waiting.
Present.
He's got to fix his hair.
We just came back, Raven Shadow. Good timing.
I was following the live feed. I got the.
Then you would know we started about 3 minutes ago, you asshole.
My phone's doing weird fucking things, dude. It's
Oh,
pissing
so
me off.
it's your phone's fault.
It's one of the faults. It's
And by weird things, do you mean like ringing and making noise when you get a text?
You're like, it doesn't page me anymore.
Don't page me, bro. But no, I was fucking having a smoke, and I was sitting down in here, fucking one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy, and it fucking it does stuff while it's in my pocket.
It does stuff.
Yeah, it's called
while...
notifications.
No.
Kind of like a buzzing or a...
Are you kidding me? It does stuff in my pocket.
It does stuff in my pocket. I called Monster Zero. I don't even know why. I put it in my pocket, and I've had posts on Facebook, like, I remember the other day I was on break and someone's like, people liked your fucking, updated photo. I didn't post an updated photo, and somehow it took a gallery picture and put it on there. Thank God it was a picture of fucking Rock and Shock.
You accidentally posted a photo of Rock and Shock.
Yes.
How the fuck do you do that?
It ended up being before I changed it to the photo I have of us at Rock and Shock, where it's the four of us on stage. It posted a photo from dinner at Uno's, and it was a great photo. And not that I wouldn't have it as my background, but I didn't choose it. So while it was in my pocket, I four people liked my updated profile picture. And I didn't fucking do an updated profile picture, and somehow it was that. Thank God, it could have been something else. You know what I mean?
Anyone else I'd call bullshit, but you are stupid enough to accidentally post a photo.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with it. It was in my pocket, dog.
Motherfucker!
You have a pocket dog? Is that like a Tamagotchi?
Yeah. Is that a poodle in your pocket? You're happy to see me. Yeah. No, it's fucking weird. So I called Monster Zero. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Did he call you, MZ?
Look at
Constipated. Are you okay?
I didn't get. I'm fine. I'm trying to deal with what he's saying. I didn't get a phone call, but unless you try to get a hold of me on Messenger.
Yeah, on Messenger. It called you on Messenger.
Okay. Because I do have the small little picture of you in the corner here, so you did try to get in contact with me.
No,
I'm just going to ignore you.
No,
why are you trying to get in contact with him, man?
I'm trying not to get in contact with him. But no, I would, but I didn't mean to call you. What if I was talking to myself and saying something? It's fucking.
You know what? He was trying to call you to say big cock, and you missed it.
Wow.
Monster Zero. Big coming out of my mouth.
Big cock. Stunt cock.
Oh my God! Why am I not talking about this fucking movie and letting you jackals fucking run things?
I'm a lumberjack, baby.
All right, so let's talk about Metamorphosis. So, obviously, we've had a lot of really good luck with South Korean films, especially, I think, maybe not all South Korean horror films, but we've had good luck with South Korean films, right? So I always
For the
get
most part.
I always get a little excited when we're about to do a South Korean film. We've had some good ones over the years, and so with this one here, let's see. So I think right out the gate here, we get some great visuals. You know, there's we see sort of it opens up to an exorcism with let me get the character's name here. I always sort of juxtapose the character names.
Cool.
What's that?
Well, he was uncle, but he was also
Yeah, it was the uncle. So we'll just call him the uncle for now, because also the cast isn't in. It's in like first appearance, I believe. It's not in starring order, so it'd be hard for me to find out who's who. So, but yes, the uncle opens on him in sort of this exorcism scene, and I thought the scene was fairly well done. I think it's a good way to kind of like introduce him as a character and introduce this this sort of evil that we'll see throughout the film. What do you guys think of the opening?
I think it was a good standard opening to give us an idea as to what this guy's about. And, it just pretty much all it really does is set the stage for what we're to expect and the man's character.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And
the man's character of his character is what I mean. Not just the character, but of himself, but I mean his personality.
The character of the character. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And I thought the effects work was pretty decent as well, at least with the possessed girl at the beginning. I thought that there was some pretty good stuff going on there.
Yeah, some decent standard of practical effects going on in this movie.
Nothing stand out, but it did the job and it didn't look bad. Which I mean, a lot of films that's just doing that is probably good enough.
Yeah.
So I think the creepy possessed girl was done really well, and I thought it was pretty effective of how they kind of pulled that off. And you always get that sort of like, back and forth where you're not sure if she's possessed and she's really playing on the fears of her loved ones and stuff like that. And it really kind of showed why this uncle would have been kind of like maybe loses confidence a little bit with this. And obviously this is just the opening scene, and the girl who he's trying to exorcise ends up dying. The sort of like controlling force, the demon, throws her out the window, and he's holding on to her in this pretty cool opening scene, and he's not able to hold on, and she falls and dies. But she bites him. That's what it was. She reached over and bit him. But I thought it was pretty effective. What was that, Raven Shadow? Speak up.
No, I'm fucking trying, but no, it was the classic, like, mid adventure. You're coming in at the end, kind of like the John Constantine failure of his exorcism, trying to save his niece Astra, or not, it wasn't his niece, it was a girl, but like it was the failure. So we see this it didn't go well for the priest.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So I think it was a strong opening, and then we kind of abruptly cut to his brother and his family. And so it was a little jarring because we get this sort of glimpse of the uncle as, kind of like the main protagonist, or what it seems. And then we all of a sudden cut to another family. And, they're talking about uncle, and you kind of get the assumption that they're referring to the same character, but it wasn't clear right off the bat. And they're moving to a different town, and they're moving kind of because of their uncle, because he in essence, rumors go around town that he's like, he killed this young girl because he's an exorcist and he couldn't save her. Raven Shadow?
Well, that's, once again, there's smarter folks than I that can make this comparison, but I think that's what's kind of different. And I've really gotten into Korean films that we've watched over the years. Even if it's a subject or genre that might be familiar to American audiences, I feel they're always going to do something a little bit different. And the fact that we opened up with our air quotes, hero failing, and then the family moving because of shame, kind of guessing, the kids can't go to school, and that's why they would do it. You know what I mean? How many fucking that's not a very American thing to do, but I think it seemed like he brought dishonor to the house, so they had to get the fuck out of Dodge, and they're forced to move. And no one wanted to move, but they had to leave. They even had all the stuff with them.
Yeah, exactly. So it did seem like it was maybe like a little abrupt, and yeah, so he brought shame to their family, and you could see how the different members of the family dealt with it. There was 2 daughters and a son, and oh my god, I can't wait to talk about that son. But it was interesting to see the way the characters dealt with it. Even the daughters kind of dealt with it in a different way, and the son was just kind of like, whatever. He was maybe a little bit too young to really understand what was going on. But and then obviously the couple, the mom and the dad, and they certainly exhibited some issues throughout the film as well, which I thought was interesting, especially given the way this film heads. I don't want to say too much, but it's not a spoiler to say that the demon sort of jumps around. That is kind of like I wouldn't call it a twist per se, but it's what makes this different than most possession films, right? Is having this sort of spirit who is doing the possessing jump around between bodies. That was something. And maybe MZ, maybe you can tell me differently, but I don't think I've seen that in a film. Have you seen anything like that in a possession film? Now I know there's that movie, was it Fallen or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
With
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, was that the one, Fallen?
I think so. I haven't seen that in a long time.
To me, that was different though, because it wasn't like a possession film. It was more or less this evil that just warped from body to body.
Yeah, it was kind of like The Exorcist meets Jason Goes to Hell.
You know what?
Final Friday.
It's funny you say that. I was actually thinking The Exorcist meets The Thing. In saying The Thing.
But in The Thing, I mean, once it's in your body, it's there for good until it decides to come out. Sure. It doesn't just go into a body, then decide to leave and leave the last one unscathed.
Yeah, true.
So I guess in that way, with that way of thinking, I guess Jason Goes to Hell would be wouldn't be a correct title to go with either.
Yeah, I mean, it just exhibits some similarities. That's it. Don't need to get too hung up on
I did enjoy the jumping around, the demon jumping around from body to body, because what it does is that it plays on your psyche. It almost becomes like a game. People are expressing different, bizarre, strange emotions or traits, and but you don't know if it's just them just reacting weird to what's going around them, or because they might be possessed. It's interesting. It's an interesting take. I did enjoy that, though.
Yeah, I
did enjoy it.
I think the thing about that too is the thing that I liked about that is they're playing upon the vulnerability of I guess this isn't true for everybody, so I don't want to make a generalization, but typically you can count on your family, right? You can count on them to have your back. You can you tell them some of your most intimate thoughts or what, all right, maybe not all your intimate thoughts, Raven Shadow, but you know what I mean? You tell them things that you might not tell other people. They know things about you that other people don't know. It's just sort of this raw vulnerability with your family typically. And so because of that, you trust them implicitly a lot of times. Once again, this isn't true of everybody. I understand that. But by and large, you can count on your family to have your back.
Well, I think, I mean, to jump on that, Johnny, I like this family. You know, from the car ride and moving in, I like them. The dialogue they had in the car, you know, you got the sense of, okay, I mean, I was clear on what the plot was, but I liked their dynamic. And I liked the fact that most of them would see their father off when he went to work. I liked putting up the photo.
Yeah.
I liked how the young son had the handmade chair that had like the painting drawings of all the family that kind of mirrored the photo that the mom hung up in the bedroom. You know, and also too, I always get hung up on, you know, certain homeowner shit when you're buying a house, because there's fucking full disclosure. You have to, you know, you have to say if somebody died in the house. You have to prove you get a radon test. You have to fucking prove fucking there wasn't, you know, flooding. And if somebody died, you have to fucking, Aries, don't get all fucking holding your head like Picard. It's a thing.
I haven't been doing that for 5 minutes.
I just saw you do it right now. Maybe
I scratched my head. I apologize for having an itch. Continue.
You were doing the Picard thing. You were frustrated with your boy, with your dog. But even the comment of, hey, we bought a house for auction. You know, it's weird there's no bidders. Totally fine with that. You know? And maybe Korean house mortgage things are different than in the States.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's possible.
But it made sense to me. You bought it for auction. It is what it is. You know? Like you buy uglyhouses.com kind of stuff here in the States.
Now, what about the neighbor we get here?
That's fucking terrifying.
So the family moves in, and they're living next to a neighbor. And at night, when they're going to bed, they hear these just weird sounds coming from the next door neighbor, and it sounds like he's like sawing something or cutting something. And so after like the second or third night or whatever, the father goes over there to talk to the neighbor and be like, "What the fuck, dude?" And apparently in South Korea, they don't knock either, because he walks right in the door because the door is open, and sees like all these fucking bones and like carcasses, and like it was fucking, you know, there's some shit going down here, you know.
Yeah, it was a slaughterhouse. It was like a goat's chest exposed and bloody. What do you call it? An abador? Abador? What's that word?
All right.
Wasn't it a word? Abador? Abador?
Arbador?
Armoire?
Okay.
No, you I don't know. It's a fucking...
An abattoir? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. It's like like a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh,
there you go. Look at you. Look at the...
Yeah.
Look at the smarts on Raven Shadow. Look at the brains on Raven Shadow. Abattoir.
Yeah, I can't...
Abattoir. What language is it, Raven Shadow?
It's old Greek.
Old Greek. Abattoir. Toi.
Probably French, right?
Yes,
France.
thank
There
you.
you go.
It's French for fucking gross.
It's French for fucking gross. So he goes next door, talks to the dude is a fucking creep, like, right? Like, just staring at him, not even talking. That dude played a really fucking good creep. He could be the South Korean Jackie Earl Haley.
Okay, if you want to go there.
I thought the priest reminded me of like the South Korean Jeremy Piven in a weird way. So it's a weird
South Korean Jeremy Piven. So they're gonna basically remake this movie in America. Jackie Earl Haley and Jeremy Piven are gonna be in it.
That would be fucking dope. Probably not as good though.
Aries holding his head again. He's doing the Picard.
Now I'm holding my head.
Oh shit!
Hold on, I'll join you.
You guys are a bunch of memes. So yeah. So after that, I mean, the thing. This isn't too spoiler, but did you guys get a feeling that the neighbor had anything to do with things, or was that just sort of like a side story that was being told?
I think it was a side story.
I think it was a misdirect.
Misdirect? Okay, yeah. Because we did have.
I don't think he had. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with the main problem in the movie.
The thing I actually forgot to mention was that the final straw was the cat, when there was like a cat that he hung from outside their window. Like that was kind of like the final straw, if I'm not mistaken, that made them go talk to him.
No, that happened. Yeah, that's what made him go talk to him. And
No, actually, it was the chair getting run over.
The chair.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was going to say the chair was run over, then the cat in the window, and that's what sent him over the edge to go over to next door to talk to him. The more I think about it, the more I think that when we're comparing movies to this, I'm also because I thought about it before that I disregarded it, but now I'm thinking over again that maybe Amityville Horror might have a little to do with this movie as well, as a reference.
As an
new
abattoir.
New family moving into a new house with 3 kids, and just weird, wacky shit going down of a supernatural nature.
See, I don't think it was necessarily the structure that was the problem.
Oh, no. Definitely not. Like, this wasn't the situation where the house was haunted already. I mean, the opening scene tells you all you need to know about, he said, I'm coming, the demon said, I'm coming for your family.
I think it's more Amityville Horror meets Jaws 4.
Jesus.
Really? Is Michael Caine anywhere to be found in this movie?
Michael Caine.
And the demon doesn't roar, so.
Jaws 4, didn't it?
Any more
Really?
movie comparisons you guys want to get out of the way?
Speed 2.
Speed 2.
Chomps.
Chomps.
Up in Smoke.
There you go.
All right, so yeah, so we got the creepy neighbor introduced, and now you're right, it is sort of this. It wasn't even a red herring; it was just sort of the side story to kind of throw people off, I think. But it was still added some creep factor. It added some cool scenes, and also just kind of moved things along a little bit. And then we get. Was it? I'm trying to remember now. Who was the first one to get possessed? It was the dad, right? That creepy fucking scene.
Fucking bedtime.
Yeah, there was.
With the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a creepy.
Yeah,
scene
that got a little creepy.
Where the one of the daughters is in bed, and all of a sudden the sheets get pulled off of her, and you think it's like a ghost or something like that, and then all of a sudden the father looks up over looking from like above the headboard, and what do you say, like, you're a real big girl now or something like that, like staring at her. It was it was really
was the weird of the bed, because she had the bed in the middle of the room. We thought that was odd, where the bed wasn't like normally beds on the wall, so she had the headboard and bed in the middle, and then we see the blanket pulled off from her feet. And then we see the overhead shot of the dad, like, glaring at her, saying, "Oh, like, daddy's girl is growing up big," or something fucking creepy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was really bad. So that was really fucking creepy. And then, so that was just sort of like a taste of like, okay, is the dad a fucking creep? What is going on here? Well, later on, we'll find out that he wasn't. It was definitely that he was possessed at the time. And then the next one, I think was the next morning, was the mom. They're all at the breakfast table, and she's making breakfast, doing that thing where they're chopping something up, and I thought for sure she was going to cut her finger off, right? Like, that was like the setup of like, she's cutting, and I'm like, oh, great, she's definitely going to fucking cut her finger off. But they didn't, which maybe I'm kind of glad they didn't, because it would have been a little bit too telegraphed. But then the mom just sits down and what was it? There was the son that said something. He's like, I don't want to eat this or something like, or
It's too salty.
It's too salty. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You got to figure out too. So not only it's the morning after, Papa Creepy comes downstairs, so he's like roaring, ready, and rocksteady, like it's a beautiful day. I mean,
he's chow daddy.
Yeah, he's like spaghetti, molestation, fries. So he comes down like nothing's going on, while the daughter is fucking tweaked out because her dad was doing some crazy fucked up shit, and meanwhile, mom's in the dinner, fucking in the kitchen, not talking to anybody. So now it's like a whole different vibe there. And then right to the point where she serves the meal, and then the young boy complains about the salt.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And she just fucking goes off on him. And obviously at this point she's possessed, because she was kind of a mild-mannered reporter. No, she was a mild-mannered mother. Just kind of like, once again, I don't know if this is a cultural thing, but definitely kind of in her place, like playing that typical sort of like, I hate to say 50s kind of role, but like the woman cleans and cooks, and the man, works and does his thing. It's a very sort of more traditional sort of look at like a family makeup, and even to the point where she kind of swallows her pride when they're arguing and doesn't, and he's telling her like, basically be the wife, kind of deal. It was definitely a little bit, threw me off a little bit, but I think once again, it was just showing the cracks with this family, and also they're sort of exacerbated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that aspect of it was just how that family, and probably a majority of the families in that area, exist. I mean, to us, it's an outdated structure, but to them, it's the norm.
Yeah, and that's obviously the thing where that we don't have that reference, because it is it's a cultural difference. So I just don't know. It could be normal, it could be abnormal there. So. But yes, and that sort of played into this as well, where there was definitely some cracks in the armor, so to speak, where, it seems like on the outside maybe it's a perfect family, but there's definitely some stuff that's buried down that they haven't discussed, right? Like as with most families, I guess you could say. But, there's some stuff that definitely comes to the surface a little bit in this. And, I think that's the cool thing, is that we get these moments between characters where they're almost confused as to what's going on. They're like, why did this person turn on me? But they never really thought that it was like a supernatural thing for a while, because it was just like, yeah, this could happen, like, yeah, like my dad just fucking creeped on me. That's fucking weird. But, it seemed to make sense to them, right? Like, it was almost like it was weird, but that it didn't seem too out of character,
I mean, maybe I'm thinking of the more American cynical aspect of it, but all the family portraits leaned more towards the father being creepy, because it was like more showing the perfect family in all the photos, but behind the scenes, they're not the perfect family. I mean, it's
well, that's how it is with every family. I mean, you go out, you think every family, gets along with everybody else and things like that, but you never really know what goes behind closed doors.
Oh, exactly. But because it was so just in your face with all the wall portraits, like they framed it up all the time, where it was just like the perfect family framed up in all those portraits on a lot of shots, where it just seemed like that was over accentuated for a purpose. And it didn't seem to pan out how I thought it was going to pan out, because of how that was framed. Maybe because I was looking at that because of in American cinema, if you're going to be, show the dysfunctional family, you're going to show all the perfect photos behind them on the walls, type of thing.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting too because even there was a scene in this when the picture cracks. So it's almost like there's cracks.
Oh yeah.
In the family.
And actually, it cracked over the father.
The dad's forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and later on, and yes, you're right. I forgot about that, but it also, just in general, the picture got like cracked later on. So there was definitely kind of a fracture of the. I'm obviously not going to call it American because it's a South Korean film, but in the South Korean sort of family is there was fractures in it. In from the outside, because they seem to be all about the presentation of their family, because they were feeling shame for what their uncle did, so they moved. So now they get kind of this new start. They move away, and now the fractures are really starting to show because obviously there's a demon here. But I think the thing that I got out of it is that this could happen to a family, like demon or no demon, like where not the truth, but different aspects of each other come out. And sometimes you don't always like those aspects, or maybe it's not exactly what you think or what you want from your sibling or your family member. So, I thought that was kind of an interesting take on it. And, once again, it is a different culture altogether. So there may be even some things that we missed in this that were there, that were present. So I also thought the acting was pretty solid in this, and I think there was some pretty convincing performances, especially from the kids. I thought that they were all pretty good, especially. I think the daughters were good, but I think even the son didn't have a lot to do except cry, and he did it pretty well.
It was still very convincing though. That the breakfast scene was pretty.
Oh yeah.
Worked pretty, like when the mother's fucking like, grabbing all the food.
Yeah.
Eating it like fucking. I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts, and that was a great scene by her as well.
Kind of gross, but she's like, it's too salty, and she grabs the whole fucking chunk of it. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think she put in the best performance in the movie was the mom. I thought she was pretty solid. Everyone else I felt was rather going by the numbers.
Seen the dad?
I felt the performances from the dad, and I mean, I think the mother's performance was pretty solid. I felt the rest were rather mediocre. Just going by the numbers, the dad I think was maybe a little better than that, but there was really nothing here that wowed me as far as a solid performance goes. But that's
yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the children, as far as their physical acting, I thought did an outstanding job, but we run into the problem with a foreign film we can't recognize where accentuation should be with how they're performing. I got the feeling of overacting with the two male leads, especially when interactions became heated. And I don't know whether that's just my own personal opinion or, whether I'm missing something because of something in the dialogue that I'm missing because I'm reading what they're saying.
Instead of feeling the emotion.
It's what, and this is part of why I don't like subtitled films, but a dubbed film I would also probably lack this as well, because it wouldn't be the original performance. This is, like I said, this is my own personal opinion. This is part of why I dislike foreign language films. I feel there's a disconnect, being that I don't understand the original language.
All right. Yeah, no, I could see that. I thought the performances in this were good. I think that everyone had a fairly difficult role to basically play two different roles in a sense. So I thought that I thought everyone did a pretty admirable job. I thought some were even pretty good. So because this is it's I'm not an actor, but it's despite being in a couple of short films like Raven Shadow, you put the goop on. Oh no, you didn't. That's right. I forgot.
I didn't have to, Johnny. I was too thick for a single.
Yeah, you're thick already.
Wait, say that again, Raven Shadow. You're too what?
I'm too thick.
Ooh.
What I did like is the fact that because the demon jumped from body to body, and we don't know whose body it goes to until it really starts to flesh itself out inside whoever it's hosting. At least what the director did is give each major character in this movie some admirable screen time. So you got to see the little boy get some admirable screen time. The two daughters, some good screen time. The wife, the husband, everybody, good screen time. Because usually in a movie like this, you have the husband, the wife, and the kids just play background fodder. So it was good to see that they were able to allow the children to also express their acting chops in front of the camera by having this part of the story flush that out for them.
And that's the thing too. I mean, like, unless I'm really bad with guessing ages, which maybe that's true, but they all seem like kids. I can't picture the daughters being any more than 19.
Oh yeah, I would say even probably like one was maybe 15, 16, and one was like maybe 17. That was just my guess,
I think it's all implied they're in at least high school or younger.
No, but at least their character's age. But in real life, I can't see them being older than. They can't be older than their 20s, right? They all seem really young, for real.
Yeah.
And I love the fucking stairwell scene.
Oh yeah.
Business kind of picked up there.
Yeah.
Was a great example of the host kind of jumping back and forth.
Yeah. That was a pretty well done scene too, because they do a good job of like kind of exiting stage left and then the other person coming in, and that was a cool scene because it's, if I'm not mistaken, it started with one of the sisters, right? Oh no, it was the dad. The dad came into the room when the sisters were talking,
kind of comparing notes, and it was everyone got a chance to play a face and a heel, which is going to be kind of fun. So you kind of can go from one extreme to the other, but that kind of progression was a fucking roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That scene was one CGI away from, if it was a practical effect, it would have been fucking great. There was a particular CGI foot scene.
Yeah.
Practical.
Yeah, there was some. Yeah.
It was just a fine scene, but if it was practical, it would have been fucking. You would have felt it.
I know.
You know what? If you guys remember, T-Dog had an injury like that.
Yeah.
And she watched it with me, and she was recoiled in fear on seeing that scene.
That's where my mind went to.
Yeah.
Did a fucking.
Well, you know what? I think the mom took a little better than T-Dog did.
Jesus.
It was a special effect, asshole.
But speaking of that, and which is typical of films of this type, the CGI, of course, is just abysmal. It's awful. There's a big CGI effect in this movie. I won't say what it is, but you guys know. And
I actually don't know.
It was just the birds.
Birds. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was just awful. It looked like something from Birdemic.
Yeah,
okay?
I get it, but but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Hire some fucking real birds to kill them?
No, of course not. That's stupid.
I know
Yes.
that.
Hey, birds, we have a job for you. Really? Great.
I mean, the CGI in that scene didn't bother me as much as how the scene played out. Like,
Yeah.
it was more unrealistic.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's another problem with that. Was just its abject ridiculousness. It almost didn't even fit into the film, really. I think they just put it in there just to find a reason for actions to take place after that. You know, to give it a reason like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. That I mean, it did bug me a little bit, but I mean, you gotta go with it because what else are you gonna do? I mean, I guess they could make it look a little bit better for sure, but
Or given the ending of that scene, what they could have done is just leave the birds out altogether and do something different. Do something that's a little bit more
sure.
Conventional, realistic. You know.
Well, they were trying to tie it together earlier in the movie.
Everything doesn't have, surrounding the situation, everything doesn't have to be ghostly or supernatural or something from evil, to get from point A to point B.
And
I just think that the birds. I don't think so. I don't think you needed the birds for this. I think something a little bit more conventional could have saved that scene.
Something not supernatural could have saved that scene.
Something not supernatural could have saved that scene. Yeah, I think so.
Demons and the
how?
Well, given the situation of what happened all right, I'll just say it, the car. Okay.
Yep.
That the end result of that car could have been faulted from something else other than a bird.
Yeah, but then it would have been. But that's
to be supernatural.
Yeah, that's the idiot. That's the idiot plot. Then.
Yeah, the supernatural aspects needs to intervene to prevent them from arriving.
Yeah. I have no problem with that.
And beyond just the demon cutting the wheel, you needed something. So the birds made sense because it tied into an earlier scene in the movie.
Well, this is why I go back to Amityville Horror for reference.
Because that's bad CGI.
I don't. No, they didn't have any CGI.
I know.
But I mean, yeah, they could have used some demonic force to make it happen, but with someone else to make sure that the car did what it had to do.
Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. It's just like, oh, well, that's convenient.
I mean, you could have had the alternator go.
That would be like real life, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, sure.
That's real life.
Side of the road, jacking up a tire.
Ooh.
I'll be a tire, Harry.
Oh God. So, but there was a couple other but yeah, that scene, the stairway scene, was real good. Was that when the dad got bitch slapped out of midair? I can't remember if that was the one, but
oh, he got tuned up a couple times.
Oh no, I think it was in the basement.
The hammer, yeah.
I'm trying to.
The hammer.
Yeah, the dad gets bitch slapped out of midair at one point though, and holy shit! I'll without saying much else, I'm going to say this little fucking kid, is going to be traumatized for life. If they do a story of this kid 20, 30 years later, he is going to be the most fucked up kid ever.
Well, Johnny,
because I agree.
What was that?
I agree because I'm saying to myself, "Oh, sorry."
It's funny. I almost want to say that for the ending because
okay,
I want to see some of these characters in the future. 10 years later, where whoever characters are left, you haven't seen the fucking picture yet, but there are certain characters I'd like to see. I want a part 2.
All right, there you go. Raven Shadow wants a part 2.
Metamorphosis 2, still morphing.
What were you gonna say, MZ? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was gonna agree actually with what you guys were saying. What this kid sees, there's no reason for him to even be there. If the mom who was in there was a responsible mom, she would have hightailed her ass and her kid's ass right out of that room. Instead, they just stand there and just watch it happen. It's ridiculous.
That kid,
it's absolutely insane.
That kid has, I think, at least like 5 crying scenes.
Yeah.
Where he is like seeing the most horrible stuff that a kid should not see.
all warranted. All warranted.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to be a serial killer when he grows older. You watch.
But I think, too, they've already proven that they can't go to the authorities. They kind of got that out of the way already. So they are kind of helpless, and they have to enlist, some divine intervention with the uncle.
Yeah, exactly. And we haven't really talked too much about that, but about the uncle. So he ends up coming to see them and finds out what's going on with the family and everything. So, and then he talks to there's another priest that he worked with before. Well, do you guys remember his name? What they called him?
Well, it was his mentor, right? It was his.
It was his mentor, but he had I can't remember. He had a title that they referred to him as.
They call him Father.
Oh, Balthazar. It was Balthazar.
Obi-Wan Balthazar.
But yeah, it was the character's name was Balthazar, and and so he's going to help with the exorcism, and the uncle goes to pick up the his mentor, and he says, I can't remember what he said, but he's like, oh yeah, you called to tell me to pick you up. He's like, I didn't call. He's like, oh shit, and so the demon is sort of like had some machinations, Raven Shadow, if you will, and is kind of pulling the strings and making things happen in this final showdown, and that's when we see the CGI birds and some other stuff happens. But I think from that point on, I thought it had a pretty good ending. From when the uncle gets back to the house after the accident, I thought there was some pretty good stuff that happened here, and I don't want to talk too much about the ending, obviously, but obviously it's unfortunate what happened to one of the characters, but it was almost sort of like nonchalant too, right?
It was like I fucking holy shit. And that I've not seen that before. I'm sure Monsters has, and I'm sure there's people who will like fucking be like, "Oh, you think that's fucking crazy? You're gonna watch fucking, the bloody Spindel, some weird fucking German fucking expressionist and picture." But I've not seen that kind of scene happen with some weird like force go. I don't know. It's pretty wild, and I'm like, well, that should be fine. Oh wait. Oh wait.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and it just was like, all right, well, hey, that's what happens, I guess, sometimes when your family's taken over by a fucking daemon. Daemon. One of the other things I thought was interesting was, so they talk about the idea of God sort of influencing and moving through people. That was one of the things, and they said, so why can't, so of course Satan can. That was sort of like the sort of like explanation of what happens is, yes, people talk to God, and supposedly God talks to them, and he supposedly influences people's lives. So why wouldn't the opposite happen, right, with Satan? So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's been done before. I can't think of any specific examples that come to mind. But what did you think of that, MZ? Is that something you've seen before that you can recall?
Where
Satan moves.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So, okay, people pray to God, and they pray to God that God can influence their lives and cause things to happen, right?
Yeah.
This is essentially like the Satan doing the same thing where, instead of God influencing people's lives, Satan is influencing these people's lives. He's all around like the force.
Okay, well, you always hear about people saying that the voices are telling them to do stuff. the voices, which again, we go right back to Amityville Horror, only this time Amityville Horror 2, where, based on the true story, where the voices of Satan told him to kill his parents and his family. So it's not totally unusual. I mean, you hear people say it all the time. The voices. The voices told me to do this, and it's always the voices tell them to do bad things, never good things. So yeah. I mean, it's not as uncommon as it sounds.
Well, I guess I mean specifically like this, but I'll accept that answer. I can't think of anything where something like this has happened, where people get possessed like this. But I thought that it was kind of an interesting take on it. I want to start to wrap things up. Was there anything else in this that you guys wanted to bring up? Any other scenes or moments or anything?
I like the kind of like the secret, Illuminati of like Exorcist they had. The priest.
Oh, those dudes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Swapping stories, and the guy that had his like, I don't know, his fucking he's like, I know the devil. Like, you didn't see no fucking devil, dude. He's like, of course I fucking did. He cut my hand off so I couldn't pray. He's like, oh well, he could have cut off, took your tongue out, motherfucker. They're busting his balls.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right. Well, Raven Shadow likes that. If there's nothing else, we will head to the verdict on this one.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Metamorphosis was a trick or treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let us start with MZ.
It's weird. The entire time that we talked about this movie, this might be the first time where I don't think we ever brought up The Exorcist.
No, we did.
I'm going to bring it up now.
We did.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it. All right. Well, I'm going to bring it up some more.
I think you did. I think you did, actually.
Did I? Oh, yeah, that's right. I did. Okay. Never mind. Well,
everyone's Picarding it now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. All right. Well, this movie takes a lot of ideas from The Exorcist, and I'm not talking in terms of style, but just straight out rip off from The Exorcist. You got a fallen priest who feels like he's lost his faith, who needs to come back to redeem himself, and is also a smoker.
Yeah, Raven Shadow.
And other areas where I won't mention because those are spoilers, but it does follow. It does literally lift some ideas from The Exorcist and put them in this movie. So that's a bit of a downer for me. Like I said before, the performances I thought were rather mediocre, with the exception of the mom. I think the mom put in a fairly solid performance, and it was good to see all the kids getting equal, for the most part, screen time. Not much of a score to speak of. I really don't remember too much about the score being anything more than just contemporary music that you would find in a film like this. There wasn't any real scares. There is one small jump scene that I did enjoy in the shower scene. I thought that was pretty good. But other than that, it was rather bland. In spite of all this, the one thing I'm going to say that's going to make it a mild treat is the fact that this is a situation where the demon bounces from body to body, so you don't know who is possessed until it becomes too late. and so that keeps you guessing, and you wonder where the next hit is going to happen. So I did enjoy that. That did make it a little bit more than what I thought I was going to get. But there's still enough here to just drag it down. But I am going to give it a treat because it is there is enough here. There's enough meat on the bone to warrant it. I think the jumping around was very good. I think the practical effects were very, very good. And the solid performance from the mother, I thought, was also very good. Other than that, everything is rather, pedantic. But that being said, I'll give it a treat. Mild treat.
All right. Let's check out what Aries has to say.
This movie, I mean, the practical effects in the movie were fine. Some of the CGI effects for the budget this movie had were fine. I mean, if you want to split hairs, you could pick out what they were, but you know what? It worked for what it was. This movie was kind of by the numbers Exorcist film. This, as far as the jumping from body to body, 100% predictable. I felt no tension whatsoever with, is it in that person or not? I knew right away. There was no indication that it was not that person. There was no misdirects there at all. It was 100% predictable. The fact that it was a foreign language film and I couldn't decide whether it was overacting or just appropriate acting was bothersome for me. So this movie, it didn't have enough for me to be interested in it. So this movie is a trick for me.
All right. How about Michael Ravenshadow?
Well, it's funny talking about this. I wish I'd be like possessed by like a productivity demon.
Those don't exist.
Like mow the lawn, do the dishes, paint the hallway. Fucking paint the hallway. Paint the hallway. You know, call you.
I can call you every day and say paint the hallway if you want.
You sure? Will you do that? Will you be my productivity demon? Text me.
Take the dog for a shit.
Then you can come over. I will summon you. That'd be fun. But no, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it was under 2 hours. This is more like a South Korean trailer than actually a South Korean full-length picture. But it was nice that it was under 4 hours. I did enjoy this. I mean, I dig exorcism, possession stuff as much as the next guy. Maybe I haven't seen every single flick on the subject, but I did enjoy this. And I think if you like a lot of violence against kids, not in the Jackie Earl Haley kind of way, but kids took a fucking bumps in this movie. They were in the trenches. I liked it. I liked the chain smoking priest who hid his butts in his desk drawer. And I'm not a big fan of priests, so I liked him. But no, I think I'm not a fan of those guys. Those guys I usually root for the demons. But I like this picture. It was fun. I would say it's a treat, man. Don't overthink it, dude.
All right. And for me, I actually agree in a lot of respects with some of the stuff that MZ and Aries said. And I guess Raven Shadow to a lesser degree. But I'm going to say this is a treat. I think that this was a bit more run-of-the-mill than I had hoped. Because we've been spoiled by a lot of the South Korean films that we've seen. I don't anticipate every South Korean film being, like fucking amazing. But there's a lot of really great directors working in South Korean cinema. And, we've been spoiled with a lot of the great South Korean films that we've seen. So, having said that, this was a bit more run-of-the-mill, like MZ said, kind of by the numbers, like a lot of Exorcist stuff in this. But I think it still delivered a fairly enjoyable exorcism film with a slight twist on the mythology, which I liked and didn't like. I'll get to that in a sec. But I liked that the demon could jump around, made it a bit more unpredictable in terms of what was going on, because otherwise you get one person who's possessed. You know that like it's always going to revolve around that person. So I thought it added a cool element to have it be kind of unpredictable, jumping around. And also it really kind of shined a light on that sort of like the fracture in the family, which I thought was a strong theme that they played upon here. But I think a negative side effect of that is that you never really felt too bad for any one person while they were possessed, because you were never fully certain who it was. Like, there were times when it was obvious. You're like, oh, okay, obviously this person's, a fucking demon. But other times you weren't sure, so it was hard to feel that sympathy. Like, you feel the sympathy for Reagan in The Exorcist, right? You feel fucking terrible for her when you watch that movie. But I never really got that with any of the characters in this, because it jumps around and you never fully get a strong kind of representation of what it's like to to have sympathy for him for being possessed. So I think that was one thing that was a little bit of a miss because of that. I do like the introduction of the feeling of not being able to trust those you're closest to. I think that really adds a scary element that anyone can identify with. So that's another, kind of another check in the positive box of having the unpredictability of the demon jumping around. But in the end, this movie didn't really do anything to make it stand out. And I would probably recommend this for diehard possession fans, but potentially a miss for those that aren't, like if you're a dabbler and you like The Exorcist and you like a few other, possession films, I would say that, this doesn't absolutely need to be on your radar. But if you're a huge fucking mark for possession films, then definitely check it out. I think it does some interesting things. But yeah, I'm going to still go on the side of treat. I think there is more good than bad to be had in this film. But, while it does some things that are different and cool, I think it does sort of fall flat in a couple of respects because of that as well. So a little bit on the fence, but definitely more on the treat side. So if you guys like possession films, I'd say give it a look. It's streaming on Shudder. You can't go wrong. It's essentially free, right, MZ?
That's correct.
All right. So next week we are going to do another film. No subtitles this time, as far as I'm aware. So Aries, you get a reprieve. We're going to be actually. Let me see. Is it?
But it's 3.5 hours long.
No. No, it's actually it was shot in Massachusetts. So
yeah.
It is called The Beach House. And it says a romantic getaway for two troubled college sweethearts turns into a struggle for survival when unexpected guests and the surrounding environment exhibit signs of a mysterious infection. Uh-oh, Raven Shadow. Is your intro coming to pass?
Oh, God damn it. Is it?
I don't know. So, The Beach House. We're going to check that one out next week.
Oh, you called an audible, Johnny.
What's that?
You called an audible.
I did, yeah, because this one was on the list to do, and I forgot to check before the show, and this one actually comes out today. Yeah, it came out today. So that was coming out next week. So The Beach House, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure this is already available on places like Amazon and whatnot, but let me just double check and find out for sure. Let's see. There's a romance novel called The Beach House.
I read that.
Yeah. Okay. So it is. Oh, is it? I think it's it's actually Prime. It's free on Prime. So it's on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free. So there you go. Oh, we could do a watch party with this. Did you guys? Do any of you guys not have Amazon Prime?
I have it.
You do have it, Aries?
Yep.
I have it.
MZ, you do not? Okay. You have it, Raven Shadow?
Yes.
Okay. So MZ wouldn't be able to do it, but yeah, they launched this new thing where you can do watch parties. So basically one person starts it, other people join, and you all watch it together. So Raven Shadow, it's like watching it with two tree dudes.
Oh, why don't we do that? MZ, come over. Just come over. Put a bag on your head.
I think you know what? You got a TV upstairs and downstairs. One of you watch upstairs. One watch downstairs.
I was
go.
There you go.
Be in the smoking section. You can be up here.
Smoking
and,
section.
I'll yell to you.
Oh, that was a cool scene.
Like, oh, that was dope, dog.
Dog.
I'm not gonna watch a movie with you.
Wow.
You'll spoon with other people. You won't fucking come over my house in a different room. All right, go fuck yourself.
I'll raid your refrigerator.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Hold on.
Oh, wait for
Well, you can't raid his refrigerator. There's too many Uncrustables in there.
Yeah, I got plenty of
Guys, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. This is a different movie called Beach House that came out in the same fucking year.
What the fuck? Was like a
Are we watching a rom-com? Is that?
No.
Barbara Streisand.
In the
Bette
beach.
Midler.
Bette Midler and Jackie Earl Haley. What the fuck?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley, Richard Simmons, and Bette Midler star in.
I would watch the shit out of that. Can we get that? I'm writing that script.
So let me see. It is on. It's on Shudder, which MZ does have, right?
I do. Yes, I do.
Let me just. I'm gonna double check right now, but just to make sure it's up there. But I think it is. So, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm actually. I wasn't even looking in the chat room, but Creepy Girl all along has been saying, "Yay, yay!"
she was talking about that, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
she mentioned it. So she says, "Yeah, Beach House,"
Yeah.
and she said it's on Shudder. So yeah, okay. So there you go. Perfect. So
all right, Creepy Girl, you're excited. We expect a voicemail from you next week. Then.
Oh, there you go.
That's right. You better get one.
Wow, is that a threat?
Slow it down there.
Slow your roll, MZ. All right, so I was mistaken. It is not the Beach House on Amazon Prime. It is the Beach House on Shudder. So there you have it. So Creepy Girl, thank you for the information. And first time Mike just popped in and he said, "Evening, family. Late night tonight for me." So hey, first time Mike, good to see you, buddy. All right, cool. So now we got that out of the way. The Beach House, it's on Shudder. So if you guys have Shudder, there you go. Check it out. We'll be doing that next week. If you want to give your thoughts on the film, feel free to send us a message, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Love to hear from some of you folks. All right, I'm just double checking to make sure it's on. I'll check during the voice message if it's on Shudder, but it sounds like it's already on there from what Creepy Girl said. So, all right, so let me see. We have No Pants Mask Guy. Our pal Anthony says, "Movies Anywhere, the site you use for many redeemable digital codes included with Blu-rays, just started their own Screen Pass sharing program. You can share with friends a movie in your library up to 3 times a month. I'll have to look into it if it is a subscription service or gratis." So, all right, that's cool. So yeah, one of the good things, Raven Shadow, like to go to your question earlier, one of the good things from the pandemic is I think that technology had to advance to better support people being at home more frequently. So if I know you were talking about like masks and stuff like that, but I think there are some good things, and also the work from home policies that some people might get out of this once things return back to normal. You know, I think companies will be a little bit more willing to let people work from home, which could be a good thing for some people, maybe a bad thing for others. But you know,
unless you're a supervisor or manager, it's a pain in the ass.
Are you able to work from home? Like, could you do it all the time, or is it just too difficult with your work?
I could to a point, but part of it, if my team is there, then I'm there.
Well, what I mean is, can your whole team be remote? Is it possible? Or is it stuff that needs to happen at your place of business?
In my job, there's still stuff that needs. And actually, we're actually feeding the larger machine, so we're evolving to kind of feed that to help other people work from home.
You're helping other people work from home while you're working at work.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of like, yeah, we got this. You guys have fun. We'll just huff the fucking fumes then. We keep them safe. But no, there's some things that we need to feed the machine, which is fun.
Raven Shadow's feeding the machine. So Beach House. Oh, I literally just saw it on Shudder, and Creepy Girl sent me a message showing a picture of it. So yes, so it definitely is up there already. It came out today. So there you go. We got the goods. Thank you, Creepy Girl. I appreciate it. So check it out, The Beach House on Shudder. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up our film discussion, and we have a couple voice messages. You guys want to hear those?
Yes.
Okay. How badly do you want to hear them?
Wicked bad, dude.
Wicked bad, dog.
It's fine. You guys have Johnny. You're being outrageous. I don't think you think you're mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. Why would I be mad at you?
I don't know. I can tell. People are mad.
How much time do you have?
Well, it probably happens often, Raven Child, so you have a lot of experience.
I'm very attuned.
How many midichlorians do you have?
Fucking enough.
All right, well, let's first check in with one of our friends from Down Under. That'd be from Tim Chuma.
Unbelievable. Tim from Melbourne here again. Just gone back into lockdown for another 6 weeks.
Oh, boy.
I did get to see one movie in the theatres. They're all repeats anyway. Hopefully everything will be open again in time for Tenet to come out. Alright, thanks.
I miss a little bit of that. He's waiting for Tenet to come out. I heard that. Which
6 weeks.
Which I wonder, yeah. So Tim from Melbourne, another 6 weeks. Melbourne, another 6 weeks of lockdown for those guys.
Oh, God damn.
Wait, I thought Australia was straight.
No, New Zealand is straight. New Zealand got rid of it.
Oh.
Not Australia. But Australia, I mean, obviously Australia hasn't seen the numbers that we're seeing here in America, and they're like not fucking around. They're like, yeah, let's fucking nip it in the bud. But here, yeah, let's open the fucking schools up. Make, who cares? There's an election this year. Who gives a fuck?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, man. So First Time Mike says one part of everything going on is that I bet some companies are using COVID to get rid of problem people, whether actually dead weight or problem people. All right, well, fair enough. Raven Shadow, are you dead weight?
It's funny. Before COVID, that's the only good thing about COVID was that
you're keeping your job because of it?
I'm less dead.
I'm less dead.
Everything else is full of shite, but yeah, other than that. Pretty good.
And it's funny, as soon as we played the voice message from Tim from Melbourne, our boy Dane Under popped in the chat for a second. I don't know if he's still there, but I saw him pop in there. So we summoned Australia and it showed up. Do you want to spill your drink, Raven Shadow?
Oh, that was funny. Summoned Australia.
Evil Corny says, my manager and supervisors are working from home. As a team leader, I have to be on site, and I rule that place like Dr. Doom.
Yeah, he probably has like evil corny bots going about like doing things.
Yeah. Yeah, our pal Anthony says, and Australia is miles ahead of us where we are with cases. So yes, they're miles ahead of us, and they're still fucking hitting the pause button and taking a break to make sure it doesn't get out of control like it is here.
I think fucking Kazakhstan, where fucking Borat's from, is miles ahead of us.
Oh, yeah.
First Time Mike says, me and Raven Shadow are essential employees, yo.
I know, dude. We're going to have an essential employee night at the Bacchanalia, too, so only essential. It'll be nice. You're coming to that night.
Oh, my God. Essential employee night at the Blackout Bacchanalia.
Yep, and it'll probably involve cookie night and whiskey night. We'll probably tie that in.
Oh yeah, first time Mike was actually asking about the whiskey. So
Yeah. So it'll be more like we'll do he's gonna bring cookies. So we'll do like a cookie decorating in the afternoon, and then Aries will come over for the whiskey tasting. The way Aries is sitting right now, he reminds me of Quaid when he was getting.
It's one of the benefits of COVID is you can say that to him and not get beat up.
That's true.
I think he's just trying to get me to come over there to beat him up for human contact.
He does want to get touched.
No, he'll want to get me till he gets here.
Open your mind, Aries.
Athletic, sleazy, hetero.
Evil Corny says that he's trying to work Evil Corny's trying to work a cape into his ensemble like Raven Shadow is with his fedora. Right, Chow, you need a cape too. Corny needs a cape and a cane.
I have capes and canes.
Well, Corny needs both.
I'll Aries will send them to you.
Cape and a cane?
Yeah. I have capes.
Yeah? Like Superman?
Yeah. Well,
so, because you have capes, I'm going to send them to him.
Because I'm not going to do that. I want to do
I understand that you're not going to. But how am I going to if you have them?
Because I figured you would come over. I'll put them in the driveway.
Oh, my God.
And then I'll leave like shots from the driveway to my door. You'll come in.
What the fuck is MZ? MZ has literally been laughing for 5 minutes, and I have no fucking clue what you're laughing about. He's crying. What are you fucking laughing about? Look at his tears. Look at the tears. He is gonna pop. Oh my God! Hope one of your cats doesn't fucking scratch your skin. You're gonna pop. Oh my God!
What? What are you laughing
what
at?
What are you even laughing at? Nobody knows. He's gonna get yelled at.
Raven Shadow's right. He does look like Quaid.
That's what you've been fucking laughing about. The joke from 5 minutes ago that we all chuckled at, and you just kept fucking persisting.
Because I look at Aries. I look at Aries, and he's got the two things sticking on the side of his head, just like in
yeah.
This is my throne.
Yeah, it's weird. Or like a weird. It's your Optimus, Aries.
Evil Corny is afraid that you're going to pass out, MZ. That's exactly what you did when you slapped your knee. That's when you passed out. Be careful, man.
I'm not afraid he's going to pass out.
One of two.
I'm looking forward to it. I just think it's going to happen.
One of two things, or maybe both things are going to happen. He's going to get yelled at, or he's going to pass out, or both. He'll get yelled at while he's passed out.
He's going to pass out, making you thump, and then get yelled at for the thump.
Oh, just fake passing out like a defense mechanism. You're too loud.
I hope people watch the video because MZ is literally fucking crying. There are tears rolling down his face. Because Aries looks like Quaid.
The way you sit.
MZ, open your mind.
Now next week I'm gonna have to do something with these to really make them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is funny. That is funny. Jesus Christ, that is funny. Oh my God.
Wish I had 3 hands.
Hey, Aries got 5 kids to feed.
I got a question for you, Raven Shadow. So on the latest episode of Force Insensitive that we did, we talked Rocky brought up using the Force, and I think he was wondering, is it possible to use the Force to jack yourself off?
Wow. Here's what's funny about that, Johnny. That's where I thought he was going. Yeah. Like
he's gonna die.
He's gonna.
We're losing him. We're losing him.
Oh my god. We need a flatline sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna die. Wow, this is he is fucking crying. He's out. He's out. Anyone know CPR?
It was in studio. I'm certified.
You are certified.
Yeah.
You're certifiable.
Well, I lapsed, but I have a cop from 2022.
Anthony says, no, that's using the Schwartz.
Oh, that one might do it. There we go.
Oh shit! Anthony over Monster Zero's house. This is best.
Evil Corny says that your girlfriend's gonna come in and she's gonna be like, "Wake up!" after you pass out.
Wake up! Time to die.
Wake up. Evil Corny says, "I would think the Force would rip someone's junk right off."
No, see, that's what you're
you control it. You control it. It's like using a Green Lantern ring, right? It's your will.
Well, I think as you get closer to climax, you're not losing control.
It's like
No. I mean, if you when you see how Luke got his lightsaber back on Hoth after the Wampa decided to stick his feet up in the ice, I mean, yeah, it can be pretty dangerous. But I'm willing to give it a shot.
But I'm willing to give it a shot.
Hey, Luke, use the Force over here. What do you think?
Oh, first time Mike has a good point. Wouldn't using the Force to pleasure yourself be selfish and thus on the path to the dark side?
Oh, you gotta fucking stop that shit, dude. That's the wackest shit about fucking Star Wars, man.
What? No, that's the wackiest shit after you talk about Cracker Farm Boy making out with his sister. You think that's the wackiest shit?
No, that's the wackest shit is Cracker Farm Boy lusting after his sister and Vader not recognizing that's fucking bad. But no, I hate the whole morality thing, the whole about you can't take a wife or a spouse. That's some whack shit. It's fucking dumb, dude. But
well,
no,
Anakin did. Look what happened to him.
Oh, Anakin's a douchebag.
He killed a bunch. He killed a bunch of kids. Killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders.
Younglings.
Younglings? Is that what you're drinking today? Younglings.
Younglings. But no, I think if you could exercise just enough force to choke somebody, you could definitely use just enough for force inertia.
Choke yourself. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like a David Hutchinson, who's a guy in excess.
David Hutchings? No, Michael Hutchins.
Oh, it's cousin.
It's not David Hutchinson.
Well, I don't know what
What the hell is that?
What am I, his biographer?
Yes.
But no, I think you could do some crazy, sexy force time. You know what I mean? On both sides. Male and female.
Sorry I went there.
You asked the question.
Yeah, I regret the answer.
Yeah.
I think Rocky probably said something more inappropriate than any of us outside of Monster Zero has said.
Although one thing that happened last night, caution anyone that listens to the Force Insensitive. Mars, we gave him a lot of shit for, for farting on Cult of Muscle or taking a poop or whatever. He literally moved the microphone right up to his ass and ripped one on the fucking air last night. It was disgusting. It was the worst. So anyone that wants to hear that.
I did subscribe. I'll check that out.
Our boy Dainanda, he says, hey guys, did a quick voicemail. Haven't watched live for a while, but I listen to the podcast every week. SpeakPipe works on my phone now. Awesome, man. Let's see. I have not. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Just literally popped in as I opened my email. So we will have one more voice message to play in just a moment. So awesome, Dane. Thank you, man. Always a pleasure to hear from you. I know you're in the future right now, and I know sometimes it might be hard to remember to leave that message, but we appreciate it, man. All right, let's go to the next one that I had queued up, and this is from our boy Carlitos.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. How you guys doing?
Good, buddy.
I thought I'd give you a call and give you my thoughts on a little independent character study about a man dealing with the grief of losing his wife and unborn child. Ooh. And that movie is a movie called Fetus.
Nice.
Yeah, that Fetus. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed this quite a bit. This was, I guess fun is the right word. I think the thing I was most impressed by were the gore effects themselves. They were really, really well done. I was quite surprised, pleasantly surprised. And I will say this, it's not enough to simply decapitate a man. The guy could use a sword or even maybe a chainsaw, but in this movie, why not use a hammer and a crowbar? Also, it's simply not enough for a man to just puke his guts out. How about just have him puke his guts out, his face explodes, and then crush it with a cinder block? And and that's just one of the many joyous parts of this film, Fetus. Great performance by the victim who got decapitated with the crowbar. Very, very good. That's a very good guy right there. I think you've seen him going places. So anyway, but I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm not just saying that either. It was a lot of fun, and it was money well spent. I'll tell you that much. I don't know why, but I've actually been on a kind of a gore kick lately. I've been trying to find a lot of gory anime for whatever reason. I don't know, but this ain't anime, but it did do the trick, and that's it, man. It was actually pretty well made too. I mean, it does have a low budget look. And it does sound could be better, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it was actually well put together. Paced real good, and just kind of get it without feeling it went through it without feeling rushed or scenes stretching out, which a lot of low budget horror movies tend to do. I've seen a lot of that, but this was actually quite good. And good job, MZ. You did good. Could use more MZ, actually, but that's about it. But anyway, that's it. Other movies I watched, I saw The Platform, and enjoyed that quite a bit. Kind of bleak, kind of, I don't know if depressing is the right word, but it didn't make me feel great. But I did enjoy the film as far as film goes. And that's it. I've been playing Last of Us Part 2. Also known as Practice for the next 5 years, I think. Very good game. I actually enjoy it quite a bit. And, forget all the internet shenanigans that game has dealt with. It's a very great game. But anyway, that's it, guys. And you know what? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Carlitos. Always a pleasure to hear from you. MZ, who was that guy that he was talking about, that great actor in the movie that that got hit with the crowbar?
Oh, I think that might have been me. That might have been me. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was the very first scene that I shot with Brian. The very first one I ever shot with him.
And that was the first. That was the first scene in the first movie you ever did with him, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
The first scene.
By
Well,
the
that's
way-
the first scene I ever filmed with him.
Oh, okay.
My first scene shows up at the very beginning of the movie where I'm the doctor, and I tell everybody that there's going to be, this is going to be a breach of birth, and to prepare for the worst. So, and you see me acting like I'm hailing to the gods. I'm like this with blood all over my hands, and I'm like, why? But I also played the scene where the guy whose face explodes and his head has been crushed by a cinder block. That's done by that's not three people, but the original actor was Kevin Barbary. The exploding face was me. I was a fake chef for Barbary, and then just a dummy head for the crush. For the crush.
Could say that again.
It wasn't me. Yeah, it wasn't me under there. So I did that scene too. I remember being in that mask, and Brian was just pouring the fake blood all over it, and the blood is starting to seep into the mask. It's starting to drip in my face and my mouth and my nose. But it was a whole lot of fun. I had a blast doing that. It was good. Yeah, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I like Fetus quite a bit. I'm glad the way it turned out. I mean, a lot of people don't find zero budget filmmaking to be all that entertaining, but Brian makes it happen. He actually makes it work.
Yeah, and I don't know if Carlitos ever caught this, but one of the things we've talked about in the past is that S. Craig Zahler, the filmmaker behind such films as Bone Tomahawk and Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete, he is a big fan of Brian Pollin, right, MZ?
Yeah, that's true.
He actually got some inspiration, and he buys all his movies many times over, and he's a big fan of Brian's. So S. Craig Zahler was actually influenced by Brian Pollin. So
yeah, well, not just Brian Pollin, but he's also influenced by directors like Fred Vogel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just speaking.
Who did the August Underground trilogy? But he carries a lot of Brian Pollin's influence into his films. I think he's more influenced by Pollin than he is by Vogel, but it's definitely there. Absolutely, definitely there.
And Brian is hailed as one of the great sort of like independent gore directors. It's not just because we're friends with him and MZ's known him for years. It's that he is like, that's what he's known for. He's known for being one of the best independent directors of low budget gore. And he's been featured in magazines and stuff like that. So yeah, like absolutely. That's why it's no joke. It's not just any low budget movie. It's someone who is really kind of knows what they're doing when it comes to the low budget gore.
Agreed.
So MZ froze at a really funny spot. I don't know if you guys could see that.
I want a T-shirt of that.
I just took a screenshot of it. So, oh, he unfroze. There you go. All right, we got one more voice message. And by the way, thanks, Carlitos. I appreciate you checking out that film. Obviously, it's great to support independent artists and also our buddy. So, I appreciate you checking that out. MZ, if he was to check out some other Brian Pollin films, where would you go if he liked Fetus? What would you recommend?
Well, I would go straight to Bone Sickness. I think it's his most realized film. That's the film he did before Fetus. That came out around 2004, I think. Also, I think Cryptic Plasm, I think, is a very good movie. It's it's a departure from what he normally does, which usually involves zombies and shit like that. But here he took it a different direction. He went with I forget the name of the movie. This is an Indian movie. He keeps referencing. I think it's The Witch with the Flying Head. I think that's what it's called. And he references that movie as an influence. Now, I've never seen Witch with the Flying Head, but it has a lot to do with vortexes and really bizarre stuff. I want to see this movie. I've had a chance to, but I never took it. I really should get a chance to see it when I get a chance. But Cryptic Plasm is another one that's good, and that's the last one that he had put out. And then another one that he did was Blood Pigs, which I have third billing on, so I'm in there quite a bit. And that's a good movie too.
Yeah, no, I would definitely recommend Blood Pigs. I actually haven't seen all of Brian's stuff, but I would recommend.
Oh, what a shock from a guy who hasn't seen The Sandlot.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen The Sandlot, therefore I haven't seen Brian Paulin's films.
That'll be a great Netflix thing. Since you haven't seen this,
yeah,
you
should watch this. Actually, I've never seen Witch with the Flying Head, but it's a Taiwanese film. I'm going to butcher it, but the Taiwanese name is Fei Tu Mo Nu. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That's one to check out for sure. So, all right, well, there you go. So there you go, Carlitos. Hopefully you can check out some of the other films. And last, we got one more voice message. This is from the aforementioned Dainanda.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I just popped in for a minute. I haven't been able to watch live shows that much anymore because of work, but it's all good. I've been meaning to ask you guys a question, just to prompt a bit of conversation, maybe. I recently found a myth of an unseen scene from one of my favorite movies, horror movies, and there's still a lot of debate as to whether this actually ever existed, but supposedly in an early cut of An American Werewolf in London, there was a gory scene when the homeless men see the werewolf and they say, "Mary, Mother of God." And apparently that was so gory and brutal that the test audience, they kept talking about it for minutes afterwards and sort of laughing, and Landis thought that it took them out of the movie. I went on a deep dive into the internet to try and find out anything about it, but there's things about a homeless man being dragged off screen and then thrown back on screen with arms and legs missing, one being thrown onto the bonnet of a car, ripped apart, and then there's another thing which I think is true, is that Landis actually made it up as a practical joke, and I think he says it on a special edition commentary, and I think that might be the truth, because it's so hard to find any information on. But is there any unseen footage of a horror movie that you really would love to see one day? They're looking for the lost footage of Event Horizon for a new release they're going to do. Have a good show, guys.
All right, Dane. Thanks, man. That's a really interesting question, and something about listening to Dane. I love when it's almost like listening to like a really engaging story, and like super zoned in. And it looked like you guys were too, just listening to him tell that. But I think it's a great question. I'm struggling to think of something. Do you guys have anything? Any like famed scenes that never were released in horror films? I'm sure you got something, MZ.
I'm trying to think of one. I'm looking around at my DVDs trying to see if it can trigger something. Because the thing is that, a lot of those scenes are usually left off as special features on DVDs or Blu-rays.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of
what
that could be.
One I'll mention, and it's not a lost scene because it's been seen at this point in the special edition, but one that I remember hearing about was the spider walk in The Exorcist. Obviously that was released, but up until that point, I remember hearing kind of talk about it, about this really fucking creepy scene, and then when they did the special edition, it was there, and yes, it was fucking creepy as hell. So it's not exactly the same thing, Dave, but that's the first thing that popped into my head when you mentioned that.
There is one scene now that you bring up the spider walk, and it just triggered my head, and that's the spider pit scene from the original King Kong.
Oh.
Back in 1933, they filmed the spider pit scene that was reintroduced in Peter Jackson's version of King Kong. But they had this filmed, but they couldn't put it in the film because it was deemed to be too scary. But it is filmed, as far as I know, and it does exist, but I don't think anybody's ever seen it. So, why I don't know. You would think, by now I think we can deal with film horror 1933 by now. So, but I'll go with that. I'll go with the spider pit scene in the original King Kong.
Yeah, I think that's a good one for sure. I've never heard of that, but that's interesting. Anything come to mind for you guys? I guess if you can't think of specifically horror, I guess you could branch out into other types of films.
If you want to branch out into other types of... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to merely say I can't think of anything that like I've ever heard of. I've, done research and managed to find. So nothing that I haven't seen.
Raven Shadow, anything come to mind?
I mean, we talked about this a little while back, and what comes to mind was like fucking Joel Schumacher, the Batman Forever scene where Bruce confronts the giant bat totem thing that was in the trailer and the Kiss by a Rose video, but was never in the film. There was a subplot where Chase Meridian gives Bruce like the fucking, the little Native American, drum thing, dream catcher, whatever the fuck. But there's a scene where he like confronts a giant, bat thing. That's what comes to mind. Once again, I'm not chomping at the bit for the Schumacher cut of that.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not.
Release the Schumacher cut.
I'm not, dog. I don't want
Don't call me dog. Yeah, that's a really good question. Maybe we need some time to think about it because I feel like I can't give a satisfactory answer right now. But MZ, I think the Spider Pit one is a good one. And as far as ones that we have seen, I think the one that was sort of famed and then was released was the Spider Walk from Exorcist. So if we think of any others, we'll let you know, Dane. But that's a great question, a really tough one too. Definitely take some
another one.
Oh, you got another one? Okay.
Another one. Well, not so much in the world of horror and not so much a scene, but a full film. This is a comedy. It's the third in the series.
Police Academy 3.
Smokey. No. Smokey is the Bandit.
Ah.
You remember this? You ever hear of it?
Sucked.
Smokey is the bandit?
Smokey the Bandit Part 3, Smokey is the bandit.
Oh, okay.
Smokey is the bandit, where Jackie Gleason.
Go ahead.
Oh, where Jackie Gleason as Smokey dresses up as the bandit. He wears the red shirt, he wears the cowboy hat, and he's got the mustache. And they screened it for test audiences, and they hated it. So they had to fix everything around to make Smokey and the Bandit 3, starring Jerry Reed, who ended up playing the bandit. So that movie does exist. It's just that you can't find it anywhere.
Huh.
Like literally nowhere.
Wait, it was
Don't even try. Huh?
There's an original cut, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can't find it anywhere.
Interesting. Well, if any listeners out there have ones that come to mind, you can always feel free to send a message to us, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. I'm sure there's some good ones out there that we're just not thinking of. So I think it's a great question, though, Dane. So appreciate the call, and it's good to hear from you, my friend. And stay safe down in the down under. All right, so the iPad's about to die, so we're going to lose you guys, so we better wrap things up anyways. And it's about that time. So let's go around and say our goodbyes, starting with MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, Aries.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
There you go. All right, so next week, like I said, we're doing The Beach House on Shudder. It is available now, so check that out. We appreciate everyone who sent in a voice message. We appreciate you guys taking the time. Everyone who tuned in for the live show, we had a pretty good crowd tonight, so we appreciate that. Love hearing from you guys live. And also for everyone who's going to listen to the podcast, we appreciate you as well. So, all right, well, that is going to do it for this week. We appreciate it. And, MZ's got a little guest. Is that s'mores again?
Yeah.
All right, well, MZ's got s'mores. We're going to get out of here. Everyone stay safe out there. We'll see you next week. See you.